All right, TGIF everyone. Hope you are relaxing, having a great evening, and ready to start the new month, which starts tomorrow actually. So I just wanted to record a little something because I'll be back in October next month on the 7th. I think that's the first Friday. Yeah. Feels good to have some time out of the office, if you will. And it was necessary, it was needed, and actually very enjoyable. Even want some more time, but I do have a lot that I wanted to share because, like I said, I'm ending the channel the end of the year, so I at least want to share a few more things before it's all said and done. Fall has come rather quickly, and not much time left. 3 months left, and that's it. Year is over. 2023. Wow. Well, it's been enjoyable, I must say. Somewhat, in my personal life, yeah, it's been kind of enjoyable, but there's been a lot of things that I've seen that, I'm a little concerned about. And I'm just going to give you a little ramble. Like I said, just a little something to carry you to next week. And we'll be back. And we'll probably have a longer show next Friday because I have so many things bookmarked. And I did mention to you all last week that I was looking forward to a special guest. Unfortunately, the special guest had not gotten back to me, so there'll be no show with the special guest. And, what can you say? The show must go on, though, so I will be able to have the show without a special guest, and we'll just go over a lot of the material, throw out some ideas, some thoughts, and see how you guys enjoy it. Let's see what's been going on. What do I like to? What would I like to share? Hmm. Well, the sun. The sun is just it's gone. I'm like, where is it? I look out. I'm like, hey, it's getting dark. Yeah, but that's been happening for a while. It's just you have to get ready for it. You just got to try to get your mind ready because the clocks. We will be um, falling back soon, real soon. In fact, when is the time? Do I know the date? I'm gonna see if it shows up on my calendar. Probably not. Yeah, it doesn't show. Unfortunately, I don't have the date in front of me. I probably can Google it real quick while I continue to ramble on. Yeah, so falling back will be coming really soon. That much I do know. And you've already seen the leaves falling off the trees, and the rain is going on. We've been having a lot of rain too, um, along with the winds. And I'm like, boo. Let's see, November 6th. Okay. All right, November 6th, time change. Okay. Wow. Yep, November 6th, Sunday, November 6th. All right. Well, get ready, everybody. It's coming. It's right here. Let's see. I'll start with the content. I'll ramble a little bit about that. With the content, the show started, the channel started off, it was supposed to be an advice channel. And then once the letters had stopped, which I saw they started slowing down, and at the time I still was doing the BGS for Women show, and BGS had encouraged me to, just look around for articles and stuff that, things I would like to talk about. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. I'm sort of a person, whatever the purpose is, I like to stay on that. So I use my imagination. I'm like, okay, what can I do that's still in a range of advice? Ending, people make some choices. It's got to be in that realm. That's just how I do it. So I was able to find, some stories where people may have made some decisions that may not have been so favorable. And we were able to talk about that. And another thing, I don't like doing what everyone else does. I've never been that type of person. I remember when Madonna first came out. That was in the 80s, back when MTV was fresh. And I saw this woman that's dancing around with these clothes that were a little bit different. The way she dressed, the earrings and stuff, look, color in the hair. I'm like, okay, that's different. I'm all right with that. We had Janet Jackson when she did her, I'm trying to think, was it the Pleasure Principle song? Or was it What Have You Done For Me Lately video? I forgot which one. But I remember Janet Jackson, she had a hoop earring in her ear with a key on it. And if I'm not mistaken, from my memory, she only had that one earring in. And I love that. I'm like, that's different. You don't have to be like everyone else. Do something different. So, I've been that way since the 80s. I just like this, stuff that's different, not like everyone else. So it goes the same with the content. I just didn't want to be like everyone else because, in my opinion, almost everyone else is just having a hangout, literally a hangout. And I don't like that. There's no structure in a hangout. I mean, it was fine when it first started, maybe about 7 years ago. Yeah, that was fine. 6 years ago. Okay, maybe. but definitely the last 4 years, eh, it was just too much hanging out. It's almost like just going on a block and there's a group of people over there smoking and drinking. Go to the next block, they're over there smoking and drinking. And, every now and again a fight breaks out because, somebody didn't puff and pass, or they drank too much of the liquor, or they don't want to put in for the next bottle. And that's how I look at hangouts, so I didn't like that as far as being a content creator. So I had to find something. And I found Kendra G. She was on Instagram at the time. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is a great story here. And let's see, what we can come up with. So I will record a few of those stories. And next thing I know, other people started doing it. So what did I do? I didn't do it. I stopped doing it. But I didn't do it as all the time, because again, that's like I'm using someone else's content for content. And I just didn't like that. I'm like, okay, a few things you can point out, yeah, but don't make it a habit. So that was the end of that. Later on, I did a few of the pineapple shows. I was able to display that. We had some conversation about it, some advice or whatever. And next thing I know, here come people using a pineapple. So what happened with me? I stopped doing that. So again, like I said, I don't know. I just don't like doing what everyone else does. And if people start doing something I do, I normally would stop or I will change it. So, that's another thing. And just think about it. I only stream 4 times a month. That's it. So I'm obligated to do something different. If I'm going to do something the same as everyone else, then no, I'm just repeating, and I don't really like that type of thing. Okay, so I just wanted to share that as far as when it comes down to content. And like I said, we're going to do next Friday. I got some articles, and that I love, talking about different things, because I can bring up experiences. We can make projections of what we think the future would be because of different things that's going on. We also can discuss some changes, as far as how we would do things if it was maybe a perfect world, or some ideas. So, that's how I've been doing, for the past, what is it? Is it 2 months now? I think I started in July with that type of format. Yeah, I think July. I think I started with that format. And I'm going to ride out the rest of the year the same way, which we only have like 12 more shows. So we'll do it like that. Have some articles, discuss it. And there's a lot of things going on. Just a lot, And then also with the rest of the year, I will be sharing if there are recalls, if there are lawsuits, anything that, you might be eligible for. I definitely will continue to share that. And then also what I used to do, I wasn't a content creator at the time. This was just, if I would hang out, literally hang out, or whether it was Discord or something like that, I would share my dreams as well as Office Tales. That was the title of it. And people seem to enjoy it because my dreams are very wild, strange, and detailed. And, they're very interesting. They're very interesting, very strange, but interesting all at the same time. So people did enjoy that, but there are just some dreams I'm not willing to share. So I'm like, I'm just not going to do that. That's just some people I may tell, but no, publicly having a actual show or upload or something like that. No, that's okay. I'll keep that close to heart. And then as far as the office tales, I used to do that. Um, and I definitely would not do it, using names and stuff, because it's not a good thing, sharing some of that stuff. Um, I would have to change the names. I gave information, but I didn't give names. Everybody had a nickname. I had the princess. The princess, she was the one that walked around, was never at her desk. I can't think of any other names right now, but Princess, oh boy, she was popular. I used to always discuss her. But, so I just have a lot of ideas that just doesn't fit the channel. So that's why I'm like, well, we'll leave this channel where it is. I'll walk away, and I'm all right with that. Also, wanted to share with you guys with Chicago crime. I mean, what I've been noticing is people are working in twos. That I've been noticing. And when it comes down to the mask, they wear, I think they're called, well, I guess they are ski masks, but they have the full thing. And you can tell how it is because their forehead is covered. And anything I see like that, I'm like, no, especially in 80-degree weather. You see guys walking around like that and they're in twos or more. I'm like, nope, not going that way. I'm going the opposite way. The other direction looks pretty good right now. And a lot of those guys, they team up and do robberies and stuff, whether it's cars or whatever they're going to do. And, it's so unfortunate because whoever and whatever you rob, if it comes down to our carjacking and stuff like that, there's really no money in that. It really isn't. They're not even selling the parts to the car. They're just using the cars to try to switch out so they can't be found. And if you get a purse and a wallet here or there, what is the value of that? Splitting it 4 ways. Because when they do the carjacking, they're in fours. And if the person has $100, that's $25 a person. What are you going to do with that? Just really, what are you going to do with that? So they get something out of it. Unfortunately, I don't think it's worth it, but a lot of these people are doing so. And it's upsetting because it affects people's lives, You got to constantly watch your back. And I remember when a lot of people used to make jokes, and it made sense, though. If you recall different comedy sketches and stuff, they would say that people don't rob in the good neighborhoods. They only rob in the hood. Why don't you go to an expensive neighborhood where the cost to stay there with the $1 million houses, or maybe not million, but in a richer neighborhood, why don't you go there and rob? Well, now as of, I would say 2020, especially 2021 last year, they started doing that. Downtown Chicago, you didn't really have robberies. You used to have snatching of iPhones. That's the most you had from like 2011, something like that, 2010, up to about 2015. You just had a lot of snatching of iPhones. I need to probably go back a little further than that, maybe 2008. Yeah, I'll say 2008 to 20, I'm going to go to 2014, 2015 tops. That's when you had a lot of snatching of iPhones, but you don't even have that nowadays, not like it used to be. So I don't know. And then with the changes coming along in Illinois with the bail system, oh my goodness, I said that is going to be horrific. That is going to be something. And you will see there's some articles I have that, and plus I've also shared articles where people are out on bond and they're going out and they are being a criminal. Not to say that they weren't a criminal before, but they're out, they're getting rid of people, robbing people, arson, all kind of stuff. And they're out on bond. And I'm like, what is this? What is really going on? So that is going to be something else right there. Then we have the immigrants. I've shared stories where the mayor is saying, hey, how dare this mayor send us some immigrants? But we're going to help them, don't worry about it. We're going to help them. And the article that I did not get a chance to share with you guys, I'm going to see if I can squeeze that in next week, about how they are wanting to have a vote. I think it's in California. It's somewhere. I forgot where it is. I'll find the article. But they actually want to put on the ballot for next year that if there are hotel rooms that are not being used, they have to give that information to, I guess, state, so they can give it up to the homeless. I'm like, okay. So we'll talk about that when I find the article, because I was trying to go off from memory and I don't remember everything. So we'll talk about that a little later. But when it comes down to the immigrants, that is, I don't know how this is going to play out. They have some funding, available for them. That's been taken care of. That's in that whatever Biden had signed. That's taken care of. But it is very interesting to see them on buses, and they seem comfortable. That's what I'm looking at. I looked at their hair. They have haircuts. I'm like, these people are not just, out there and in a bad way. I'm telling you, I looked at them. They're smiling, they're happy, they're talking to everybody, even waving at the cameras. I'm like, what the world? I'm like, okay, get prepared, everyone, for whatever's next. And there is some stuff that's gonna be next. What I noticed when it came down to the homeless, because I've been downtown last couple of weeks, whether I'm gone down there for shopping or whatever I'm down there for, I'm noticing more homeless people in bus shelters. It wasn't raining, wasn't windy, wasn't cold. It was 80-degree days, and they are taking up the bus shelters that's at the bus stop. That's where they're hanging out at. I'm seeing more and more of them. I was approached by one guy last week. I was on my way to Whole Food at that particular time, and I saw him. He was ahead of me, and I saw him go over to the side I thought he was going to go in, but he didn't go in. He just went to the side, at the door of a popular donut place. called Stan's Donut. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, I know you can't tell a book by its cover, the way this guy looked, and he had the duffel bag to go with it. Because a lot of the guys that don't have a permanent home either have a duffel bag or a backpack. That's how I've always been able to identify, guys that, have that struggle. And this guy went over to the side of the entrance of Stan Donut, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, you going in there? I walked away when I asked them how much a cinnamon bun is, because I always like to try a place that sells like one thing, like whether it's popcorn, whatever the item is, because I'm wondering how good is this item that you're able to make a living off of working here. They're actually able to sell enough where you can work here and get enough and pay your bills, as well as whoever the shop owner. How you pay your bills. You sell that much popcorn, you sell that many donuts, you sell that many, whatever the thing is, tacos. I'm like, I would like to try and see what this tastes like. And I love cinnamon, but not the sugar part of it. So I went into the Stan's Donut one time, not that particular one last week, but another one I ran into about a year or so ago. And when I asked the price of how much a cinnamon roll was, and the lady told me $4 and something, and I think that wasn't even with tax, I just slowly backed away. I'm like, I can't do it. I'm not paying $5 for a cinnamon roll. I love cinnamon, but I didn't want it that badly. So I don't even know what it tastes like. Still would like to know, but I'm just not willing to pay that much for a cinnamon roll. So like I said, when I saw that guy, I'm like, okay, sir, you going in there? More power to you. You're doing better than I can. And so I went down these stairs, and when I got to the bottom of the stairs, I had already felt his presence. So I heard, the miss, and I turned around, and he said something in the line of, I'm just trying to get something to eat. Can you help me? Doesn't have to be money or anything like that. And I raised my both hands up, as in, I give up. And I normally do that just to show that I'm paying attention to you. I understand what you're saying, but I don't have it. So that's how I, give my gesture. And his response behind it was interesting to me. It was almost that he was going to blame me for whatever his next step was or his condition. And it was something like, because at that time, after I finished the putting my hands up to contact, telling him no, I didn't have anything. And as I turned away, he's like, oh, so what? I guess I gotta. And that's all I heard. When I heard I guess, I knew that was the hostile part of it. And I'm like, oh, I don't like that. So now I'm trying to find the direction I want to go. Do I want to go straight ahead? Do I want to turn or go diagonally? Because I don't know what's the next move, but I know he isn't happy with my response. So I went straight ahead, and then I made a turn, and then I saw he was making a turn, but he stayed on the opposite side of the street. So I'm like, okay, that worked out. But I'm like, wow, I can't say where to go if you want food, but the Magnificent Mile, is not the area you want to be in. You want to go a little further west where there's more restaurants, not just um, stores, like Nordstrom's and all that. You have to go where it's more food. So I wasn't going to say anything like that, but I was just thinking for myself, if that's what I wanted with some food, I'm going where the food is. That's where I'm going to hang out at. Because a person can give me their leftovers, or if they go in, and I ask them, hey, can you get me something to eat? I'm hungry. That's where I'm going to be hanging out where the food is, not where a jewelry store is and Nordstrom and all of that. So I just, had on my mind, I'm like, okay, what's next for these people that are out here in the street, And, and speaking of streets, when you look around on YouTube streets, you see a lot of stuff about women and winter's coming and homeless and evictions and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I don't know what information the people have, the content creators or anything, but I do know that there's going to be something available and someone will probably help them. It isn't anything to laugh at. What's funny about that, if that's, the purpose of talking about it, and then the way I think, I'm always thinking solutions. So my question is, okay, so what do you do next? How do you solve that? Just like I was saying with the gentleman that asked for something to eat, I'm thinking, hey, he's in the wrong place. Now, if he wanted to maybe rob somebody, he was in the right place, because I was in the area where the people had the money. But the food, he was in the wrong area. So I'm just thinking how things are going to, go for the winter months and into spring, So I think the next 6 months is going to be very critical. It's going to show a lot because there are a lot of layoffs coming. Prices are increasing. Interest rates has risen. So it's just a lot going on. And I just wonder, how is it going to play out? I do say that people need to be very cautious where they go. Don't just leave your purse on the countertop, on the whatever, park bench, on the back of the chair, on the seat of the car, those type of things. Don't leave your keys in your car when you pump your gas. Just some certain things you just got to be careful about. That's where we are now. We always have been there, but we definitely need to be on high alert. We really do. All right, and the last thing I'll leave you guys with, because I'm at the 30-minute mark, and like I said, I just want to give you a little something until next week. Me and Ruby, Classic Ruby, will be back. And like I said, I think we're going to have a longer show. And just to catch up on some things. All right, so the last thing is I want you guys to let me know, yay or nay. And this is what happened. Last week, I'm sleeping, I think it was Wednesday night into Thursday morning, or otherwise it was Thursday night into Friday morning. I don't remember which one. But I'm sleeping, and then I'm about 1:20, 1:30 in the morning, I hear some bumping. And it's directly above me, which means it's the bedroom. So I'm like, okay. But why is that knocking so loud? So Speedy Gonzalez was above me, getting it in. So I opened my eyes and I just listened to the boom, 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 boom. And I'm thinking, They need to get that bed fixed. I don't think it. I don't know. I don't know if it was a head. A head? No, it couldn't have been a headboard because it wouldn't have been directly. The sound wouldn't have been where it was. So it wasn't a headboard. It was part of the bed. So I don't know how it was making that type of noise. But anyway, my question to you, yay or nay, your vote, and I will respond to, and let you know how it turns out. Speedy Gonzalez was getting it in, and it was just too fast. And that's why I call him Speedy Gonzalez. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, wow, that is just too fast. That cannot be enjoyable to that woman. I know every woman is different, but I just don't see how as fast as he was going was pleasurable. I'm like, nope, don't see it. And I'm thinking because of the sound and me waking up, I don't recall it being a slower sound. So I'm like, if he starts off like that, I'm like, ugh. But, to each his own. So, my question to you, your vote, yay or nay, because I thought of this, yes I did, is to go slide a note under their door to let them know that the bed is really hitting the floor and it's loud. And that's as much as I was going to put. I was going to talk about the man's style. His style is his style, but I don't think that woman was pleasured. I'm sorry. Nope. It was too fast. It was too fast and too long too. Because I'm like, okay, the first 5 minutes, if you're not done by now, you're having some problems. It doesn't take that long at that speed to finish, unless you are having some problems. So after it stopped, after the 5 minutes, I thought maybe, that was it. But he had not arrived because I would say 2 minutes later, the speed started up again. I'm like, Speedy Gonzalez, look, man, I can't tell, what to do or who to sock it to. But that was too fast. You don't start off fast again to finish. You've already went fast in the first place. Now you're supposed to start off slowly and wind yourself up to get faster, not start off at full speed ahead. So I'm just sitting there, laying there rather. No, let me see, was I sitting there? Yeah, I was kind of sitting at this point because I got up on one shoulder like, okay, is this going to happen all the time? Because I don't want to be awakened through the night and I got to get up and go to work in the morning. So I'm going to have to give them a note. I'm just going to have to give them a note. So that's what I'm thinking to myself. And then after I finished thinking these things, I said, the poor woman, I'm like, she cannot be enjoying that. It is too fast. I'm like, no. And then I was thinking, I don't know what position that is, but it still was too fast. I'm sorry. I'm not able to ask her. I'm not that interested in that. But I just know what I know. And just trust me on that. I just know these things. But where your participation come in is, I just want to know, yay or nay, do you think it's a good idea that I slide a note into the door just to let them know that their bed is, quite loud on the floor? Yay or nay? And I'll leave you with that. I'll count your yays and nays, and I'll let you know next week when we meet. And we have the show. I'll let you know, what I did according to your yays and nays and how it turned out. So we have 1 week to find out if Speedy Gonzalez slows it down or what. All right? All right. Well, again, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I'm going to enjoy the time off. And I hope that you guys stay safe. And until we meet again, as I always say, stay safe and peace.